Okay, imagine this for a second. You graduate, right? But not just with a degree. You graduate as the owner of a globally competitive AI company. And what if there was a direct path, like just 6 months long, to actually make that happen?
That's a pretty compelling hook.
It is, isn't it? So today, we're doing a deep dive into something really interesting. EON AI Ventures Global AI Entrepreneur Program.
Right.
Our mission here is to unpack this, potentially revolutionary opportunity, understand who it's really for, and dig into the evidence-based approach they claim turns top computer science students into AI company owners in 6 months.
That timeline is definitely striking.
Exactly. And whether you're maybe a student listening or an innovator or honestly just curious about where AI and entrepreneurship are headed, this should offer some fascinating insights, into how the next tech leaders might get made and, where global innovation is going. Okay, let's unpack this. So EON AI Ventures has kicked off this ambitious new program, and they're very specific about who they're targeting.
Yeah, the top 1% of computer science and engineering students globally, that's a high bar.
It really is. And their founder, Dan Lajerskar, he put it very bluntly. He said, "This isn't about getting a job after graduation. It's about owning a globally competitive AI company by graduation."
Wow. Okay. So what's genuinely striking here, I think, is that promise of a direct pathway from university lecture hall, basically, to AI company ownership in just 6 months.
Yeah.
That immediately sets it apart from, pretty much any traditional educational path or career trajectory we know.
Yeah.
It's a whole different mindset.
Totally. And the program structure reflects that ambition. It's broken down into 2 distinct phases, both designed for, maximum impact.
What's
so
that?
The first phase, months 1 to 3, they call it free elite training. And this isn't just, classroom stuff.
Right.
It includes these intensive rotations within a global tech company. So participants get actual hands-on experience.
In what areas specifically?
Things like product development, enterprise sales, marketing, the real nuts and bolts. Plus, they get trained on methodologies apparently used by billion-dollar AI companies.
And mentorship too, I saw.
Yeah, professional mentorship from industry veterans is baked in. So it's training, but it's very applied training.
Okay, so that foundational phase sets them up for what comes next.
That leads directly into the company creation phase, which is months 4 to 6.
Right. Makes sense.
And this is where things get really tangible. Participants get guided development for their own AI venture.
Their own companies.
Exactly. They get access to these advanced no-code AI development platforms.
So lowering the technical barrier to build sophisticated stuff.
Precisely. But here's maybe the most interesting part. They're given pre-validated, high-value opportunity assignments.
Pre-validated. What does that actually mean in practice?
It seems like EON identifies market needs before the students even start building, so they're not just guessing what might work.
Okay, that's significant. And they get distribution too.
Yeah, immediate distribution through 136+ million user network. That's what they claim.
Wow. Okay, so that combination, the pre-validated idea, the no-code platform, the distribution that aims to bypass a lot of the usual startup struggles, doesn't it?
Finding the idea, building the MVP, getting those first users. Yeah, it seems designed to shortcut those hurdles.
Which brings us to how they figured out which hurdles to target, right? The secret sauce you mentioned.
Exactly. This isn't just someone's bright idea for a program. They say it's built on a systematic analysis of 36 successful AI unicorns.
Unicorns meaning private companies valued over $1 billion.
Right. We're talking companies worth collectively over $500 billion. And EON claims they've essentially reverse engineered the success formula from studying them.
And that analysis yielded some pretty specific insights that now shape the program.
Yeah. What did you find most interesting there?
Well, a few things stood out. For example, the finding that 89% of successful AI companies focus on B2B automation rather than consumer apps.
So solving business problems, not necessarily building the next social media craze.
Exactly. It suggests a more, let's say, reliable path to value creation. Also, the idea that complex enterprise solutions generate the highest returns and strongest competitive advantages.
Yeah.
Basically, tackling the hard stuff pays off and builds those moats.
Right. Makes it harder for competitors.
And then there's this powerful concept about emerging markets. Local data advantages create unbeatable moats using unique local knowledge and data. Maybe counterintuitively to some, the finding that technical university graduates possess optimal founder DNA for AI ventures. which, directly feeds into who they select.
Right, that top 1% focus again. And building on those insights, the program specifically targets massive underserved markets.
Leveraging those emerging market advantages we just talked about.
Yeah, things like having access to proprietary local data sets, really understanding region-specific problems, and, cost advantages too.
And they've pinpointed specific sectors.
They have 4 key target opportunity areas. Agtech, so agricultural technology.
Okay.
Fintech, financial technology. Healthcare technology, and logistics technology. Seems like areas ripe for AI-driven automation in many parts of the world.
And if you connect those dots, the B2B focus, the emerging markets, the specific sectors, it paints a picture of something bigger than just helping individual students, right?
How so?
Well, it looks like an attempt at building infrastructure for distributed innovation, something that can actually compete with the traditional tech hubs like Silicon Valley.
So decentralizing innovation.
Pretty much. It's about democratizing access to venture creation tools and networks, things that have historically been concentrated in just a few places.
Yeah.
It directly tackles that geographic concentration of opportunities.
So the potential impact is global, not just individual.
That seems to be the ambition, yeah.
Now, for the students who actually get selected, the deal sounds, well, almost too good to be true. They call it a zero-risk, high-reward model.
Zero risk.
Well, the entire program, at least during this pilot phase, is provided at no cost to the student.
Okay, that's huge. No tuition fees.
Right. And participants retain majority ownership of the companies they create.
Majority ownership. That's not typical for accelerators or incubators.
Not at all. And they state no equity requirements or ongoing obligations to EON. Plus, they get that access to the distribution network and investor connections thrown in.
So, compared to a traditional startup path, maybe taking out loans, giving up huge chunks of equity early on, this model fundamentally shifts the risk away from the student founder.
It seems to.
And EON is setting some pretty high expectations for outcomes because of this structure. They're aiming for 50% plus functional company creation.
Meaning half the participants actually build a working company in 6 months.
Apparently. And 10% plus investment readiness, which they claim will significantly exceed traditional accelerator and educational program success rates.
Because of that structured support and the pre-validated ideas, presumably?
That seems to be the logic, yes. Less guesswork, more guided execution.
Of course, getting into a program like this with that kind of potential upside, it's not easy. There's a rigorous selection process.
Back to that top 1%.
Exactly. They use a proprietary system called the Wayfinder assessment. It's designed to identify that top percentile based on 4 key things: cognitive excellence, technical mastery, entrepreneurial DNA, and leadership potential.
So they're looking for a very specific profile, not just smart coders, but potential leaders and founders.
Right.
And this whole approach, the careful selection, the structured support, the pre-validated ideas, it seems designed to tackle that massive elephant in the room for startups, the failure rate.
Infamous 90% startup failure rate.
By giving founders a much stronger starting point, the aim isn't just individual success stories. It's about creating real, significant economic value in emerging markets and fostering these new hubs of AI innovation, distributing where tech leadership actually comes from.
Okay, so let's try and distill this. What does it all mean for you, listening? We've basically explored a program that's trying to create a super fast track from top student to AI founder.
Right, using insights reverse engineered from billion-dollar successes.
To target specific opportunities, especially in emerging economies, within a structured, almost risk-free environment for the participant. It's a very systematic approach to entrepreneurship.
It really is. And it throws up some big questions, doesn't it? It directly challenges how we think about higher education, about entrepreneurship itself.
Like what?
Well, if the formula for building valuable AI companies can be reverse engineered and taught systematically like this, how does that reshape innovation globally? How does it change job creation? And what's the real potential impact of truly democratizing access to these venture creation tools and networks, taking them outside the usual coastal hubs or established tech centers? Could this really level the playing field?
Those are definitely some big thoughts to chew on. We hope this deep dive gave you some valuable nuggets as you think about the future of AI education and, well, its global economic impact.